Guys, what's going on? I'm Jason and welcome to my garage. Today I'm going to be working on my 2014 G650 GS. I got my parts from SprocketCenter.com. I went with the 520 chain kit by JT brand steel with the X-ring chain. I got this here. This is the super light. Pretty simple, pretty basic. I didn't go for anything too glamorous. Both sprockets for the rear wheel, for the engine. The new link kit, some grease, and the new chain, the EK chain. Nothing fancy, just plain black. I've got a few tools here. A good breaker bar, good size, 1/2 inch. 19 mil wrench, got a 24 mil socket. That combination will bust your rear tire loose. A T45, that's gonna loosen up your chain adjustment here. A T30, that's gonna remove the ABS sensor, which is really important to do. You don't wanna break that. We got a T30 here to pull off the chain cover. Torque wrench, obviously, to put the tire back on. 14 millimeter and a 17 millimeter to use the tool. The tool that's going to allow us to press the chain apart and press it back again. And I'm gonna use a grinder. I'm gonna use a grinder instead of breaking the chain. You're gonna pull off your ABS sensor. Watch out for the little washer. There's a little washer back here. That goes between the sensor and the rear brake caliper bracket. In some cases, there's even little bits of the tip that was popped off. Here's a comparison. All right, so you got these bushings here and here. Probably end up falling on the floor. So if you pull them off now, then they can't fall on the floor. So we got the big guy. The big guy's on the brake side. And we got this little guy on this side. We can just go ahead and pull this off. On this bike here, this thing just floats on these rubber pads. Every bike's gonna be different, of course. These pads are pretty cool. Obviously, give them an inspection, make sure they're not, torn, damaged. Let's go ahead and take this cover off. All right, here we go. This will allow it to go inside of it. Okay. So we're gonna put this right there. Snug it up a little bit. Boom! Push it right out. Look at that. Boom! That chain is broke. Here are our O-rings. Alright, got trusted torque wrench. Newton meter, 21 Newton meters. We're gonna hold this with another Allen. Alright, let's not get this confused here. What's this little piece here? That piece is pretty cool. Oh yeah. Oh, that just slides right off like butter. Ideally to break it loose, but when you go ahead and tighten it, then the direction becomes the wrong direction and you could potentially loosen things in here. So what they recommend you doing is using the brake here using the brake to help tighten that up. That's going to be after the tire and the chain and everything's back on. So we're going to start working on that next. I since put the cover back on. This is just hand tight. This actually is plastic, believe it or not. So here's our new one. Our new one's going to go on. Our old one is here. One thing to note is it says EXT for external. So that goes on like that. You can see it actually has a raised lip. So that has a raised lip. So we'll just drop that one out and put that one on like this. Make sure I keep these in order. Flat. It has a lip. Then we got a little bit of a locking washer here, how it's curved. So this guy will go here. That fits nice. Now one thing it recommends is to put a little moly lube. There's a part number you can buy from BMW, a special moly lube, but this is just something that I got from a local machine shop. It kind of helps with the splines. We're just gonna kind of put that here. And so for now it's going in dry, no Loctite. We're gonna bring the Loctite in when we're ready to torque it, when the rear tire is on. So that'll just keep it there. It's gonna go in here like this. Slide that in there. I just fed it this way. Put that, so we got O-rings. Put this little guy right like this. And then we're gonna put this right like that. Okay, O-ring. Okay, plate. Plain. Ooh, with words. Let's put the words on the outside. Right. Look at that. That goes there for obvious reasons. That goes there. All right. What do you think about that? You know, they say to lube your chain every 500 miles, and you probably want to check the tension every 1,000 or so. Why does it always give me 35 to 45 millimeter? I don't have a millimeter tape measure. What I do have though is inches. So I quickly grabbed some of this paint I had laying around, and now I have inches right there. Also, I did this a while ago, this little line here. I measured from center to center, and that's halfway, so I know I'm always right there. So this is something I did before also with this paint here. Let's check our tension now that we know we're 1.38 to 1.77. So let's try to get down and level with this. So it starts at 2 3/4, and then there's 1 3/4, so that's 1 inch. That's 1.25. I can almost stretch it to 1.5. So that tells me I'm right there in the middle. Put this on, so remember, it's bolt, it's washer. Just snug it up, you know? Just a real quick note, once I get this tightened up to torque spec, I always come by here and snug this. It calls for 10 Newton meters, which, you know, you might not even have a torque wrench for that. So I just snug them down a little bit, you know, quarter turn. This spot was at the 12 o'clock and now it's at the 3 o'clock. So both sides, just snug it down. Just helps keep everything nice and tight in there. All right, so that's it. I used a lot more tools than I initially had out. This Allen 14 millimeter was an add-on. That was to pull the cover off to grab the engine. This is what I grabbed the engine with to hold that still, the crankshaft. The Loctite, the paint I painted, NICs, the Moly Lube, some cleaner, a knife, a measuring tape, dead blow, small hammer. So most of this stuff you should have. Just make sure you have a good variety of Torxes and metric wrenches, metric sockets as you dive into these BMWs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.